Salvete Latin lads. This is Pius, and today we're going to be talking about Caesar de Bello Gallico, Book 4, Chapter 32. So, a little context for you. Right now, Caesar is in the process of his invasion of Britain, and he is, on the other side of things, the Britons are aware and they are. Trying to block off Caesar's supply to grain, and they're aware of his need for food. And Caesar, on the other hand, is in the midst of trying to repair ships and to secure a grain supply for his guys. So let's get started. So Garantor here, in this first little phrase, right there, is historical present. So this could be translated as while these things were being done. And then you're going to go to una legione with one legion. And then I would go here, which was called the seventh, having been sent to get grain. That frumentatum right there is a solid supine out of custom, and not with any suspicion of war having been inserted, or I guess admitted at this time, when part of the guys remained in the fields, and part also were coming back and forth into the camps. Those guys who were on guard before the gates of the camps announced to Caesar that dust greater than custom brings in this part was seen, into which part the legion had made a journey. Caesar, having suspected this, which was something of a new plan, having been started by the barbarians, he ordered all the way down here. He ordered the cohorts, which were on guard, to depart with him into this part. Uh, Out of the two which remained, um, to follow into their posts, and the rest to be armed, infinitive, to be armed, and immediately follow him. When he had proceeded a little further from the camp, he all the way down here, animad vertit, he noticed that his guys were being pressed by the enemy and were sustaining poorly, and having been in the legion, having been packed tightly, weapons were being thrown from all sides. For because with all the grain having been harvested from all the other parts, from all remaining parts, one part, or there was one part that remained. Having suspected that our guys would come to this place, or the enemy having suspected that our guys would come to this place, hid in the forest at night. Having having suddenly attacked those having been dispersed with the weapons having been dropped and uh, or having been occupied in the harvest, um, with a few having been killed. Um, they had thrown the rest into confusion with uncertain ranks, and at the same time, Simul, they had surrounded with cavalry and with chariots. So I know that was a lot. Lots of ablative absolutes. A good example of you know a subject and a verb being separated. That verb of the head. So or the main verb. I actually is what I meant. Caesar and usit down here, or animad vertit. Also going back up to him to Caesar, and truly just a bunch of ablative absolutes, deposit, depositis, armies, paucis, interfectis, um, in incertis, ordinibus. It's all super difficult, I will say. So to go through some of the decisions I made into some of the verb tenses, just to clear things up a little bit. Let's get started. So Garantor, I said earlier that it was a historical present. It's a present passive indicative verb. The tour on the end kind of points that out. Misa as a PPP, and appellabator as an imperfect passive indicative. And then next we'll go to interposita. Interposita is PPP all the way. And remaneret, the ERE plus ending, infinitive plus ending. You can tell that that's an imperfect active subjunctive right there. And as is this, though, when titaret. Then next we have errant, which is pretty easy verb, just imperfect active. Nuntia verant is a perfect active. Aram, errant is the ending, so that's pretty easy to tell as well. Ferret right here is imperfect and active as well. Waderi is the passive infinitive, present passive infinitive. It's also an infinitive right there. And Fekisset over here is pluperfect active subjunctive, and you can tell that because of the isse. So I mean, yeah, that's. I don't want to do that for the whole passage because I think that that's a kind of waste of time. But I mean, if you kept going, you can tell that this is a PPP as well. This is imperfect, and it keeps going. Imperfect here. So I mean, yeah. I think that this passage is really easy once you get a handle of it. The bottom portion of it is the most difficult part. So thank you for listening. If you have any questions, you know how to find me because you'll see me all of class. Thank you.